Jared, your writing here is just, I love it. I every term I spend some time explaining to students how important it is to give a written description or a written kind of rationale describing your experience with each assignment. And not only for this class, for all classes, it's a really great practice because it allows we instructors to get a deeper insight into the way you're learning and the way you're retaining. And this is, I love it. This is fantastic. And the reason I say that is because you're expressing your experience and how something as simple as changing the size of a font can completely change the way a layout is viewed and accepted by the viewer. So this is fantastic. Thank you so much. Please keep this up as we move through the term. Let's go ahead and jump over to your composition. Now, I think it's a great start. You're definitely showing a good understanding of what's going on. It looks like you're a little bit wider than an inch there, right? So in the assignment page, if you see right up here in the assignment page, we see right here 15 by 5 by 5 squares, 4 of them on a 15 by 20 black field background with 1 inch space between all 4 designs. I'm not sure though, well, actually I am. Those don't look like they're 1 inch, but if you take a look at the example, you can see these, see how uniform that is? 1 inch all the way around. You want to shoot for that. Okay, as far as the layouts themselves go, so the first, no contrast in size, weight. All hierarchy is based on grouping here, right? So top to bottom, this would be first position in hierarchy, right? Second, excellent, introducing a new height, new weight. One thing I recommend is you see these little kind of lead lines you have right here, these guys, and then these underlines here, get rid of those. Let's remove those. This is an exercise in pure typography. So by underlining something, you are actually creating an emphasis on that area, which creates hierarchy in a way that isn't necessarily considered to be typographic. So let's avoid any kind of underlining and any of these kind of leading lines, so to speak, okay? But anyways, this is great, right? So you have good, nice grouping, and then you got an introduction of a new weight, so that's fantastic. Here you've got multiple size and weight, and that's fantastic. So again, good grouping, excellent, excellent hierarchy. And this one's also really done very well as well. But a couple of things I want to mention on this one. Good job on the image, by the way. You want to break that grid. So right now, I want to talk about grid in 1 second, but right now this has to break the grid, right? So be sure that you're breaking the grid enough for the composition. Now, one thing I highly recommend that you do from this moment on to our last day of class is avoid center aligned type. All right, and the reason I say that is because center aligned type does not adhere to a grid. All right, and the announcement area and the assignment page have all of those wonderful tutorials and videos on how to use the grid. Centering something merely means that you're taking text and placing it right in the center. So you're not applying a grid. Do you see what I'm saying? Over here you are. You've got the center aligned headline, which, by the way, I would recommend that you left align that right there. And then also you've got, here's a pure center line, here's pure center line. So we're really not using the grid here. We're just center aligning. So from this moment on, I want you to avoid center alignment in all of your compositions. I don't use center alignment as a professional graphic designer. I haven't in 25 years. I take that back. I do use center alignment for wedding invitations, and that's about it. Formal wedding invitations. So that's about it, okay? So we want to recompose these and avoid center alignment. Otherwise, keep doing what you're doing. You want to break the grid on that one, though. So if you have to do a quick Google search on how to break the grid in typography, do so. You want to break that grid right there. All right. Yep, center alignment. Examples. Right here, one page. This is it. This is exactly how to do this assignment, okay? And this is in the presentation, week 3 presentation page. And this is also on page 101 of the textbook, so definitely want to review that. But that's a really great example of how to do this assignment, okay? Great start, excellent start. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing your next iteration. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks, man, great start.